And we're back. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Rita. And this is
Wild
Ride.
I can't honk.
We can't honk right now, actually.
We just got out of church and I can't honk right now. Ooh, I can't do that. I feel like honking is so mean.
I think we have talked about this before, and I feel a little bit differently about it. But right now, absolutely, there's no way you can honk right now. You put your hand on that horn so confidently, and I was like,
oh my gosh.
My stomach kind of dropped. I was like, fuck, don't do that.
I'm not a horn honker. I've only honked in the podcast thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only
And she's always the one who drives, if you didn't realize that yet.
Yeah.
So, she's always the one who has to honk.
And I've gotten used to it for the podcast, like,
you went for that horn so confidently, and then you were like, nope. Take it back. I'm so glad you didn't push the horn. That would have been really embarrassing.
Like, you've reached over and tried to honk for me. Like,
oh, yeah.
In a circumstance. Okay, yeah.
Where I'm like, that person, like, needs to move. You need to tell them to move.
Like,
No, sometimes you gotta tell people what's up.
I know. It's the Minnesota Minnesota nice.
Yeah.
But yet, like, don't want to be passive-aggressive.
See, the thing with Minnesota nice is, like, it's nice, it's not kind.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, if I was sitting there, like, holding up traffic because I'm just being, like, whatever, like, I would want someone to let me know. Like, I think, I think
There's a level of honking, too. Just a cute little,
yeah.
Or not that,
like, I'm not gonna honk at someone if something's already happened, but, like, if they're in the process of, like, almost hitting me, I'm gonna honk.
Okay, yeah. Because that's what it's
But, like,
for.
if they've already kind of, like, cruised in front of me and it was, like, not a super safe move, like, I'm not gonna angrily honk at them. I'm gonna be more like, why'd you do that? Like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be that mad about it, but, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, how clean's your room right now?
My room?
Yeah.
My room is so messy.
My house is actually super messy right now, too.
My room was clean prior to you getting here.
Sorry.
No, it's just, like, it's a small space for two people to...
Yes.
Like, live in or, like, be in and have stuff and get ready and get unready. Like, it just is what it is.
Yes.
And it's hard to, like, put something away because something else is there, like, whatever the case is. But, yeah. How's your house looking?
My house is actually, I mean, it's probably not actually that messy, but it's messy for me. Like,
yeah. No, I think that's everyone has, like, their own.
My bed isn't made. There's, like, some clothes on the floor. There's, like, some dishes by the sink, like, that need to be washed. And there's just, like, random things that are not, like, put back exactly how, like, I generally would.
Yeah.
But I just haven't been there much this week. And I just, whatever.
That's
what kind of has gotten that way, and, like, it needs a reset right now. And I'll do that tonight.
I like Sundays for reset days. Just in general, like, a slow... It doesn't feel like a chore as much, or, like, a need.
It really makes me feel, like, put together and ready for the week.
And, like, I'm taking control of doing it, and, I know what it's going to make me feel like when it's done and for my week.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, like, what I appreciate about both of our, like, styles, like, we certainly have, like, different levels of cleanliness and, like, what we let go versus what we... and I think that's different with a lot of people and, like, what their style is, I guess.
Yeah.
But, how we both are able to, like, let it get messy and be okay with it. And know that, like, our life is more of a priority. Not our life, but, like, what do we say?
Just, I mean, your life. Like,
like, living your life is more of a priority than making sure that you have everything put away always.
And generally my philosophy is, like, do it now, save time later. Like, that's kind of how I like to think of things. Like, but I don't always do that because sometimes it's just not worth it to me for, like, the amount of energy it is, the, like, whatever. Just, like, I'm not into it, and I'm not gonna, like, beat myself up about it. But my original reason why I wanted to talk about getting down and dirty was I was in the shower. And I was thinking about how, like, I was seeing these videos on TikTok of people who are like, what I do to be, like, high maintenance now so I can be low maintenance later. And some of them was, like, with, like, makeup or like
Routine.
personal hygiene routines and stuff, but some of it was with cleaning. Like this one girl, I saw her like, yeah, every time I take a shower, I have like a sponge in there, and I also like wipe out all the bottom of my bottles and like do all this stuff. And I'm like, just enjoy your shower, girly. Like, and I've seen other people like say that hack before, like, oh, like while my conditioner's like sitting in my hair, like I like clean something in my shower, and I'm like, girl, just enjoy your shower. Like, this is your self-care. Like, you do not need to clean your shower every time that you're in your shower.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
I would say, like, yeah, doing it every single time is crazy, but I don't take a day to clean my shower. I would do it. I'd be in there and I'll be like, oh, there's that. I just see it and be like, okay, I'm okay. So I will, like, clean the bottles or that type of thing.
Okay. See, I'm more like I get in my cleaning mood and I like do a bunch of like deep cleaning stuff. And then there's like the stuff that is more like weekly, like whatever. But
and I think you're gonna do it in a more like thorough way than me. Like I said, like I'm gonna, if I see the bottle of shampoo as a bunch of like conditioner, like just the other day I like cleaned out our little thing, but it's just like while I'm in the shower, it's like, oh, I can do that right now. Like, it's not intentional as in like I'm planning it, but I'm like, oh, and I like showering and standing in the water, so I'm like, more time in the shower.
Yeah.
So that's where I used to have a scrub brush in the shower, because once again, I'm not gonna really take the time to
do it
outside.
Okay, so this is a different perspective than the way that I thought about it. I was like, gosh, like, why are you making yourself like do a chore when this could be like a self-care time? But I guess I see it
and like I guess
too.
I just don't see it as a chore because I'm enjoying my shower. Like, I just enjoy being in the shower.
Yeah.
So like that's where it is for me, and with I think just like my ADHD and my lack of like, I do like cleaning at times, so it's like not even lack of love for cleaning, but like that's not my go-to if I'm gonna clean something.
Yeah.
So this is like, I know I'm gonna get it done at some point.
Yeah.
When I'm in the shower. But yeah, different perspectives for sure.
Oh yeah.
And like the TikTok girl who does it every time. That's wild.
Yeah. Like I just like, sometimes it's already hard enough to like get into the shower, but like if I'm planning, like I'm trying to get myself to go in the shower, and I also know that while I'm in there I have this like cleaning task, like God, I'm gonna be a stinky girl. Like,
yeah,
no way.
Oh. I've never been for having a routine with anything.
Yeah.
So like, even like my sheets, like some people are really good about like every Sunday that's when they do it or whatever.
Yeah, I change my sheets every weekend.
Like, I mean, when you're in a relationship, I would, but like it's just me.
See, even when it's just me, like I just love the feeling of clean sheets. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, yeah, it's a big task and like
it's just,
whatever.
It's more work, and like if I have time, I'm gonna do it. If I don't, like, it's not something I'm gonna fret about or fret about and make because I didn't get to my sheets on that Sunday.
Yeah.
But like when I have time and energy, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So that's where it's, I think, definitely different perspectives too. Like, I don't have like a checklist where some people have, like, whether it's written or like in their head, of like when they do things.
We kind of, well, because like I live with someone else, like my boyfriend, so it's like we do kind of have a routine because we both are like fairly clean people, I would say. And like even between us, like it's very different. Like I would say I'm more organized than him, but he's definitely more of like the deep clean type stuff that I am. Yeah, so we kind of have like a routine with it, and then we also like have split up our chores, and like my big thing with it is always you meet the person with the highest expectation for it. Like if I think we only need to vacuum the living room once a week, but he thinks we need to vacuum it twice a week, like that's the expectation we're rising to, is twice a week, or like whatever task it is. Like if he thinks we only need to do the sheets on the bed once a month, I think we should do it once a week. We're gonna do it once a week because like you rise to the highest level or whatever. I think that's really important for us.
Yeah. And, like, I've heard you, like, going through this process and, like, figuring out, like, this is what works for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to, like, think about it in my own life and, like, how I just don't see it working. Like, my mentality with cleaning and just, like, my lifestyle, like, that'd be wild. Like, I'd really need to marry a type A person and they would have to get us going, because I'm more so of, like, cleaning. Side note, I was traumatized by cleaning. Like, I have PTSD of cleaning, deep cleaning. That's just, it was used as a punishment, and so, like, I have a bad connotation of it, but, like, I really enjoy it when I'm in the mood for it.
And you have control over it.
Yeah. So, like, if someone's gonna tell me, do the dishes right now, like, it's gonna make me so upset. Or, like, if there's a plan of, not even a plan, but, like, after dinner, yeah, do the dishes. Like, that just feels like a routine in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think of, like, having to vacuum twice a week, or, like, whatever the case is, like, that feels like a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and anxiety, where I'm like, oh, I see some dust, or, like, oh, I made a mess, or we haven't vacuumed in a while. Like, that's gonna encourage me to want and, like, be comfortable with wanting to do it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, like, how
has it been? Like, you've lived with guys, you've had roommates, like, how has it been with people? Like, have your cleaning types, like, matched up, or has it been an issue?
I would say it pretty much matched up. I'm definitely a type B person, but love organization. So I think that's where it's, like, a little different. Like, I'm not straight up type B.
Yeah.
Like, certainly, but I want things organized.
Yeah.
That's, like, the controlling part of it.
Yeah.
But with living with someone, we kind of just have our not even tasks, like, I don't even know, like, how my roommate and I work right now is amazing for both of us. I mean, we both have ADHD, so it's both, like, I always compare it to, like, when we have time and energy and capacity to put the effort in, that's when we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never have, like, I guess sometimes I have guilt, but that's because of my PTSD, but, like, I have I can't think of the word. Like, I'm never mad at her for not doing the dishes.
Like, resentment,
or like, oh my gosh, you seriously didn't switch the laundry. Like, I don't have that at all.
Yeah.
With any of the cleaning work, because I'm just as capable of doing something and doing it. And we both live there and contribute messes wherever the case is, or it's just, like, it's a teamwork, and we've never really talked about, like, who has what task. We just, if you see it and you have time, do it.
Yeah.
Like, we both know the garbage goes out Friday. Like, if you're going out, grab it. If not, it's not the end of the world. Like, garbage comes next week too. Like, we don't have a set in stone, and it really works for both of us. And I mean, if I lived alone, yeah, I'd probably have it, like, a little cleaner more often, potentially. But also, there's 4 of us. And, like, I think about having a family. Like, my house is not going to be spick and span with no toys or anything laying around. Like, that's just not what my life is going to be. That's how I was forced to live as a child, and, like, I'm not supposed to turn here. And that caused a lot of, like, stress for me. Yeah. Because that's not how my, like, type B, like, I can't be that way all the time.
Yeah.
So
I would say I've had, like, a few different experiences with it. Like, there's been some times with roommates where I felt, like, resentment because I had, like, a higher level of cleanliness that, like, I wanted and made me feel comfortable. So instead of, like, ever talking about it, I just, like, did everything. And, like, I think looking back on it, like, at the time I was like, this is so unfair, like, this is so rude. But, like, first of all, I never talked to them about it, so, like, of course they weren't doing, like, what I expected. Like, I was really just, like, telling myself a story in my head about, like, them just, like, taking advantage of me and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that's, like, was real. Like, I don't think that was, like, a real thing that was happening. And I think it's just hard when you live with someone who doesn't have, like, similar expectations with you as you. Uh-huh. So I've definitely had, like, multiple situations where, like, I had a lot of resentment towards the person or people that I lived with because of cleaning. And then there's also been times where, like, tried to, like, take control with, like, another person and, like, made, like, a chore chart, and, like, I think then everybody held resentment, and then it was kind of like, well, did they even vacuum today? Like, and I think that was really bad too, because it didn't really give people, like, the space to do it in their own time. So I think that was hard too.
Well, and I kind of feel like you're trying to push them to a level of expectation that they might not be able to give mentally, energy, or anything.
Yeah. So I think it was a lot of that, and I think just what I've learned from all those experiences is, like, communication is obviously, like, huge in all of those things, like, and then I think also compromise too. Like, no, I don't think, like, if we had those conversations and, like, obviously my level was different than theirs, I don't think it should have ended up, like, completely at my level, but it also shouldn't have been, like, down at their level. Like, there has to be some compromise with that so that, like, everyone can feel okay about the situation. But yeah, I think just communication with it, because when I lived by myself, I was incredibly tidy. Like, my apartment generally looked like nobody lived there, and I kind of liked it, but it was also a lot, and I think the only reason I could maintain that was because I still like being out with people and, like, all that kind of thing, but, like, when you live alone, like, you do just have a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot more free time.
A lot more free time.
And, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
As well clean.
Yeah, like, just clean, and, like, it can be enjoyable, you know, you turn on music, you have a TV show on, like, whatever, and, like, you organize a drawer, like, once a week. Like, it just becomes a thing. So
I think the expectations of cleaning, obviously, I think communication is the biggest part. With, like, my trauma of cleaning, the expectations were extremely high. Mm-hmm. And even if I don't know, like, what, there's a lot that could have been changed, and I don't know, like, what the right way is, like, but by having those high expectations, if you don't talk about them prior, obviously that'd probably be ideal. Mm-hmm. But then if someone isn't able to meet them, mm-hmm. but you still need them met for, I mean, it's your controlling way. Yeah. Like, you feel that you need to be in control of a circumstance, and it needs to be cleaner, and there's not, like, a right or wrong way. Like, everyone has their
well, and also some preference. Of it I feel like is, like, autism stuff. Like, is there something that's, like, it truly, like, makes me feel so, like, icky and disgusting, like, to have something, like, a certain way. Like, I just don't, like, feel comfortable living in, like, a certain environment. So I think that's part of it too. So that's why you have to kind of be picky with who you live with, and, like, make sure they can match up,
and they can, like, cater to and understand you as a person.
Yeah. Versus, like, I'm not saying, like, please don't do this because I'm, like, trying to be controlling, but because, like, this is something that makes me uncomfortable.
And I feel like yours are very evident. Like, for example, like, if the floor is not clean somewhere, like, you physically can't put your feet there. Yeah. And, like, that's, like we know that about you, and we know that that's probably why you vacuum more and make sure there's things not on the ground, and, like, you're gonna control that environment because it's something that it's hard for you to even live in. Yes. Where I feel like when I talk about, like, expectations and, like, having to cater, like, one example is, like, how you clean a toilet. Like, this goes back to teaching too. Like, I was never taught first how to clean a toilet, so it's, like, me just going in there, like, probably, like, rolling the thing around the inside and, like, being like,
it's clean,
I'm done. And then later, like, I got in trouble for cleaning it wrong, but, like, the high expectation was never explained to me.
Yes.
so, like, that's the issue, too. So, like, making sure that expectations are clear before, or if it happens after, then bringing it up and talking about it.
Yeah. I think about, like, when I was teaching and, like, how I set up my classroom. Like, I was very big into, like, this is our classroom, like, we're all taking care of it. And, like, of course, there's always the kid, like, oh, like, we see stuff on the floor, what should we do? And they're like, well, I didn't put it there. And it's like, no, you didn't. And it's not fair to take on other people's things all the time. Mm-hmm. But also, like, we're a community, we're going to help people out. Like, your friend, like, knocked all their stuff off their desk. Like, we're going to be kind and help out. And, like, generally kids are just really good at doing that just because they're just, like, kind, they're whatever. But I also think about, like, how much I would teach them. Like, I would notice a lot with, like, boy students. Like, they'd be like, I can't find this thing. And that was, like, a common thing that, like, boy students would say to me, like, I can't find this. And, like, my big thing was teaching them to, like, notice things and see things for themselves. Because I think that's just, like, an important life skill. Like, oh, you see that, like, none of the pencils are sharpened? Like, maybe you go talk to the pencil sharpener, like, whoever's job that is that week. Or you take it on yourself and you do it. And, like, just noticing those things. Because I think a lot of times, like, women in, like, heterosexual relationships, their, like, partner will be like, oh, just give me a list, I'll do whatever you want, just give me the list. And then, like, you're taking on the mental load where it's like, no, like, you can see that the garbage is full too. I shouldn't have to, like, tell you that.
And that's where I think after you saying that, like, really appreciate my roommate and I's relationship with the fact that we don't have to create a list.
Yeah.
Lists are traumatizing me with cleaning things too. Like, I hate lists. But then we notice it and you're able to do it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it goes back to kind of like what you were saying earlier, like, your philosophy is, like, if you see it, do it. Mm-hmm. Or what did you say? It might have been pre-podcast. It was like,
I think I said something about, like, my philosophy is, keep it cleaner now do it now instead of later.
Yeah.
Like, if I have wrappers on, like, the table next to me, instead of just leaving it there, when I get up, grab it and, like, drop it in the garbage that I walk by, you know? That type of thing.
Yeah. And, like, I definitely think it comes back to how you're raised or how you're taught, like, to notice or to kind of, like, think ahead.
Yeah.
And be intentional. That's something I'm working on right now, is just being intentional. I'm very intentional with relationships, but I'm, like, not intentional with the things that I do as often. Like, I was just thinking about, like, my mail. Like, I'll grab my mail, I'll casually look at it, and then not touch it for a week and then forget about it. And, like, that can't happen. Like, what am I doing? And I finally am like, no, I need to, like, be intentional. I'm an adult. I get mail for a reason. And what am I going to do?
Why aren't you turning into the parking?
Because I wanted to turn here instead.
Okay, well, where are you going to park the girly pup?
Right over... I'm just going to...
Okay.
We'll find a spot.
You're making me really nervous. I don't know why.
Here.
It's really not a big deal. There's plenty of parking over here.
I know.
Okay. I just got really scared.
It's okay.
I don't know why. I'm sorry.
But
anyway.
Yeah. So, getting down and dirty.
Yeah. I enjoy getting down and dirty. Like, sometimes it feels really, like, you really accomplished something. Mm-hmm. It feels good.
We'll check back in a little bit.
Yeah.
About how our down and feeling dirty feelings are. I can never casually do this.
And we're back.
Someday I'll, like, figure out how to just end it casually without so many words. But we're here again.
We're here again. Did you have any last minute things to add about cleaning?
Sometimes it's dreadful, and it's okay that it can be dreadful, and my recommendation is, if it's not going to, I would say not recommendation, my way of doing it, which not saying is right, but is going to be, like, if you have the time and energy and capacity to do it, but, like, if it's going to cause you harm, and harm could be, like, mentally or emotionally, it could also be, like, if it's physical, like, it's going to cause mold, or like, it could start a fire, or, like, whatever the case is, like, obviously then you need to take action and do it. but it's okay if things are messy and like out of your control, not up to your expectations. Like, I do think that's okay, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable, and like that's what things change is. Not saying you have to keep it that way forever, but like if things happen, like it's okay if it's messy for 3 days and that's not normal for you. Like, just like having more grace for yourself and pushing yourself up. Oh my gosh, what is this? Pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone with that. Not saying you have to do that, but like, don't let it make you feel bad for not doing it, or don't let someone else make you feel bad for not doing it if it was a mistake and you let it go, type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someday I'm gonna figure out how to do it with less words, and I'm just gonna. All right. Well, thanks for listening to an episode about cleaning.
Oh, are you not gonna say your last words?
No, I don't think I have anything else to say. Honestly, okay. I thought this was gonna be more fun than it was, and I'm feeling a little bit lame. So I think we're just gonna be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
We love you. Safe travels.
I can't walk again, so sorry.
Dang it.